Hello and welcome to class 10th, subject English, book First Flight, chapter 3rd, Two Stories About Flying. This is the second part of this chapter, the second story, Black Aeroplane by Frederick Forsyth. Students, I have already uploaded the first story of this chapter, that was First Flight. Okay, so in the first story was also a motivational story that how that seagull has conquered her his fear. I hope you must have watched that video and understood it. And in this chapter also you will get to know that how presence of mind work and destiny works on us. Okay, so in this lesson, Black Aeroplane by Frederick Forsyth reflects on how one's judgment gets distorted due to fantasizing and how it creates problems. In this chapter, the narrator is a pilot who is so eager to meet his family and have a good breakfast that he takes the wrong decision of facing the storm instead of doing the right thing. Miraculously, he somehow manages to escape with the help of a mysterious aeroplane. Okay, so let us know about the author first. Frederick McCarthy Forsyth, born on 25 August 1938 in an English author, journalist, former spy, and an occasional political commentator. Forsyth was born in Ashford, Kent. He was educated at Taunton Bridge School and later attended the University of Granada in Spain. He is best known for thrillers such as The Day of the Jackal, The Odessa File, the Fourth Protocol, The Dogs of War, etc. Forsyth's work frequently appear on bestsellers list and more than a dozen of his titles have been adapted to film. By 206, he had sold more than 70 million books in more than 30 languages. Now, let's read the chapter line by line and I'll do the explanation. And what you all have to do, students, you have to listen carefully and watch the things nicely. The moon was coming up in the east behind me, and stars were shining in the clear sky above me. So here the narrator is saying, the pilot, okay, narrator is saying that the moon was coming up means it was the night time and the moon was up in the sky means it is the midnight when moon is just on our head. Okay, so it was coming from the east means and behind the narrator, behind me here it is written, so behind the narrator means narrator was going towards west. Okay, so from this line we got to know that narrator is moving towards west and the moon was coming up in the sky from the east and the stars were shining in the clear sky. Shining stars or the clear sky denotes that the weather is clean. Okay, so narrator is saying that the stars are shining and weather was clean above him. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. I was happy to be alone, high up above the sleeping countryside. So here narrator is saying that the weather was clean. There was no sky. There was no clouds in the sky, and everyone is sleeping in the countryside, and he is up above in the sky and flying that aeroplane. And I was flying my old Dakota aeroplane over the France back to England. Here he is saying that he was flying an old means an old variety of a plane whose name is Dakota. Okay, aeroplane, and he is over France. Means he is flying his aeroplane on over France, above the France. Okay, and going back to England. I was dreaming of my holiday and looking forward to being with my family. So when the narrator was going back to England, he was dreaming about his family. He was thinking about his family, that as fast as he could reach to his family and meet to them. I looked at my watch. It was 1:30 in the morning. Means when the narrator looked at his watch, in the watch it was 1:30. Means it is the night time only for us. We all are sleeping at that time. But according to the narrator, he was not sleeping, so for him it is an am time, so it is the morning time, dawn time. Okay, it was 1:30 at night. I should call Paris control soon, I thought, as I looked down the nose past the nose of the aeroplane. I saw the lights of a big city in front of me. So here, when he was crossing France, and when he reached towards Paris, he thought to, because it was a big city, what he has seen from the nose of the aeroplane, that it is a big city in which lots of lights are twinkling, or so because of that, he denotes that it is a big city in front of him, and he decided to call to the Paris control room. I switched on the radio and said, Paris control Dakota TS088 here. Can you hear me? I am on the way to England. Over. So, like this, you must have seen in movies, students. You can take LOC, you can take border movie, or you can, if you have seen two pilots also, they used to uh, use one word at last after completing their phonic conversation, that is over. Okay, when they used to call anyone for their professional purpose, they use one word, that is over, at the last. So he controlled to the Paris control room. He called to the Paris control room, and first he gives his address, that he is talking from the Dakota DS 088, the number of the plane, and he is saying that here, means he is talking, and he is giving his own address, and asking that, can the uh, can you hear me, means that, is anyone is there in the Paris control room who is listening to this pilot. So I am on the, and the message was that he is on the way of England. Okay, the voice from the radio answered me immediately. DS088, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12 degrees west now. DS088 over. So the answer came from the Paris control room, that DS, again the number of the plane, DS088. Yes, I can hear you. Means when the narrator asked from the Paris control room that is they are listening or not, then they replied this, yes they are listening, and they give the answer of that if he has to move to England, then he has to take 12 degree west. So he turns at the end. I checked the map and the compass, switched over to my second and last fuel tank, and turned the Dakota 12 degrees west towards England. So what the narrator had done, that he had checked the map already in the plane, it is given. So he checked the map, that where he is moving and what are the boundaries and what are the things. Okay, after checking the map, he moved to the compass. Compass is a it is also electronical gadget in the planes. Okay, which tells the directions. Okay, so directions, after seeing the direction, he moved towards the 12 degree west as told by the Paris control room. And he has switched on his second and the last fuel tank. It means that he is not having any extra fuel. Okay, so he has turned on his another last fuel tank and move towards the 12 degree west towards England. I will be in time for breakfast, I thought. A good big English breakfast. Everything was going well. It was an easy flight. So again he had started about his family, and again he has thinking and that he will reach very soon to his place with his family. He will take the morning good English breakfast. Okay, so all the good things he is having in his mind and is dreaming of. So Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me when I saw the clouds. Means when he has taken the 12 degrees west, so he had moved towards England after crossing 150 kilometers. Okay, from that place. Means Paris is behind him 150 kilometers. Okay, so what he has noticed that he saw a right means storm clouds which are black in color, and and they are looking as if they are going to bring storm. Okay, so they were huge. They looked like black mountains standing in front of me across the sky. So here narrator is describing that the clouds were very big. They have taken a lots of place, and it was you can see in the picture, it looks like as if they are going to bring a storm. Okay, it was so huge. It looked like the black mountains standing in front of him. Black mountains means the color of the clouds are black in color, and they are as they are in front of that aeroplane as if they are mountain. Okay, so here metaphor is used. One figure of speech is there, that is metaphor, a comparison between two different things. So here the comparison is done between the clouds and the mountains. Okay, so black, which is in black color and standing in front of that plane across the sky. I knew I could not fly up and over them, and I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south. So, after seeing that stormy clouds, then also he is not turning back, because he was knowing that he was not having that much fuel that he can move to north or south, or he can go up in the sky and then cross that stormy clouds, as if he was not having that much fuel. I ought to go back to Paris, I thought, but I wanted to get home. I wanted that breakfast. So he was knowing that he can go to Paris, even he can go to Paris also, but he didn't choose that way. He thought that he was having a fantasy to do the breakfast on that morning only with his family. Okay, so he want to do that breakfast and get to his home want to get to his home very soon. So he decided to cross the storm. I wanted that breakfast, he said. So I will take the risk, I thought, and flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. As you know, students, in the from the starting of the chapter, it is told that that aeroplane was a old plane. Okay, it was an old plane, and he was not having that much fuel in his aeroplane, and it was too risky to cross the storm. But he chosen that choice only to cross the storm in between. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. I looked at the compass. I couldn't believe my eyes. The compass was turning round and round and round. It was dead. So, here what happened? When he get inside the clouds, in the stormy clouds, everything was suddenly black. As the clouds were black, that is why everything for him, it was looking as if everything is black, and it was so impossible to him to see anything outside the aeroplane, because he was just surrounded with the black clouds and he can see the black clouds only. The aeroplane was very old, but then also it is jumping and twisting to cross the stormy clouds very fast. Okay, so it is flying in his own way. When the narrator looked at the compass, what he has noticed that the compass was not working. The needles of the compass were just moving round and round. It was dead. The compass was dead. It was not working. It would not work. The other instruments were suddenly dead too. I tried the radio. Paris control, can you hear me? So, what happened? The compass was dead and it was not working. Then he has tried the other instruments of the plane, but the bad thing was that nothing were working, means all the instruments of the aeroplane were dead. Okay, so the fear or the thrill comes in his body. He was totally frightened with the situation. So he tried to call the Paris control room and asked that can they hear him. There was no answer. The radio was dead too. Means the signals were also not working and the radio was dead too. Now, students, tell me what the pilot will do. He was not having fuel, he was not having compass, the weather was stormy and cloudy, black clouds. He was surrounded with the black clouds. Okay, so he is in the situation of deadly situation he is. Okay, he was in the deadly situation. The radio was dead too. I had no radio, no compass, and I could not see where I was lost in the storm. Okay, so narrator is saying that no instruments were working of his aeroplane and he could not see anything outside the window of the aeroplane because he was surrounded with the stormy clouds and he was lost in the storm. Then, in the black clouds quite near me, I saw another aeroplane. It had no lights on its wings, but I could see it flying next to me through the storm. So, what miracle had going to or had done with him that one another aeroplane he can view in front of him, he can see in front of him that one another aeroplane was there which was having no lights, and then also it is visible to the narrator in front of him. It had no lights on its wings. You must have seen, students, on the wings of the aeroplane there are lights. Okay, at the back also an aeroplane is having light, and in the front also it is having light. But no lights were seen by the narrator. But I could see it flying next to me through the storm. But then also without the lights also that plane was visible to this narrator. I could see the pilot's face turn towards me. He is saying that he can see the pilot's face also who was riding that plane. Okay, who was flying that plane, and turned towards me, and the face of the pilot was turned towards the narrator's face. I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved. Students, you must have noticed that a few minutes before he was very happy to be alone in the sky. Okay, but now when he is in the situation, he is in the bad situation, he is very happy to see the another person in that storm with him who is going to help him. Okay, so I was very glad to see another person, and he lifted one hand and waved. He asked for the help. He lifted his hand towards that opposite aeroplane and waved his hand, moved his hand as a signal. Follow me, he was saying, follow me. So, what the pilot of the another aeroplane was saying to the narrator that he should follow him, and he is asking to follow him. He knows that I am lost, I thought. He is trying to help me. So, what the narrator noticed that the person who was there in the next aeroplane was knowing that the narrator has lost its way, and he is going to show the way to him. He turned his aeroplane slowly to the north in front of my Dakota so that it would be easier for me to follow him. I was very happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. So, what happened? The another aeroplane which was there in the storm with this narrator's aeroplane was asking to follow him. Okay, so he turned his aeroplane slowly towards north in front of the narrator's Dakota plane, so that he could be easily follow that plane. He was very happy because that plane was showing a way to come out from that storm, and he was just moving behind that a strange aeroplane like an obedient child. Again, that plane is compared with the obedient child. Okay, so this is also a metaphor. After hour, after half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. Means half an hour have passed, and that strange aeroplane was also there in front of me and showing the way towards England. Now there was only enough fuel in the old Dakota last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. I was starting to feel frightened again, but then he started to go down, and I followed through the storm. So, what happened? That as you all know, students, it has already discussed that Dakota plane was not having much fuel to roam here and there. It was having very little bit of fuel to go to England. Okay, so as you know that um, he has lost in the storm, so he was not having enough fuel, but then also he was just following that strange black aeroplane. And narrator is saying in his tank he was having just that much fuel that he can fly the aeroplane for 5 to 10 minutes more, and he was just starting to feel frightened. He was just afraid of the situation, that what will happen if the fuel will get over. But then also he started to go down, and he was following that strange aeroplane and coming out from the storm. Suddenly, I came out of the clouds and saw two long straight lines of lights in front of me. It was a runway, an airport. I was safe. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane, but the sky was empty. There was nothing here. The black aeroplane was gone. I could not see it anywhere. So what happened when he come out from that cloudy storm? He noticed that as he was having very less fuel in his tank, he can just fly the plane for 10 to 5 minutes, but what he has noticed that in few seconds he have crossed that stormy clouds, and in front of him two runways are there. Runways are the is the place where the aeroplanes used to uh, take off. Okay, they used to take off from there, and they used to uh, come down on that only. Then suddenly when he turned back to say thank you or to see the black aeroplane, but he had seen nothing at the back. The sky was just empty. There was nothing behind him. The black aeroplane was not there. He has gone. He could not see anything at the back of him. I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. So he landed his plane on the runway, and he was not sorry. He was very happy to fly the old Dakota, and he moved towards the control tower room. I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was and who other pilot was. I wanted to say thank you. So when he go to the control tower room, he asked a lady. Means one lady was already sitting in that control room, and he asked to that lady that I was flying in the sky with the old Dakota plane, and one more plane was there. So he want to know about that plane, who was that person who was riding that plane, because he want to say thank you to that person. She looked at me very strangely and then laughed. Means the lady who was sitting in the control room, she take the glimpse, or she glanced on the person, on the pilot of the Dakota plane, and she started laughing. Another aeroplane up there in the storm. No other aeroplanes were flying tonight. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar. Okay, so what was the reply of that control room lady? That there was no aeroplane in the sky, only this Dakota plane was the only aeroplane which was flying on that night. Okay, and no other aeroplanes were there whose signal she can see on the radar. So she refuses to agree with the thing that any other aeroplane was there in the sky on that night, in that night. So, who helped me to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio and without any more fuel in my tanks? So, he asked from that lady, or he asked from himself only, that if there was no aeroplane in the sky, then who helped him? Who helped him to get off from that situation, which was a very problematic situation, in which his compass was not working, his radio was not working, he was having less fuel also, but then also that strange aeroplane had helped him to come or to have the landing, a safe landing. Okay, as if he was not having fuel to do so. Who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane flying in the storm without lights? So he asked from that lady that who was the person, who was the pilot. A question comes in his mind which was having no answer, and it became a puzzle afterwards, that who was that pilot who helped him in the strange black aeroplane in that stormy clouds and flying in the storm without any lights. Okay, that strange black aeroplane was not having any light also. So this question was asked by the narrator to that lady, or in his mind it has there last for a long lasting period. Okay, so here only this chapter is finished. Here some questions are there. I hope you will do in your copy very neatly. If any doubt, if any answer you are not getting, you can ask through the comment box. Okay, so I hope you have understood the chapter. If again any doubt is there in understanding the chapter in it, or in the explanation, you can ask through the comment box without any hesitation. Okay, students, uh, study well and do well in your studies. Thank you very much.